bitch. I'm gonna show you step by step how I did my nails, how I got the perfect blue French tip, how I did the extensions, how I did a fill on the extensions that were already there. I'm gonna show you everything. And before you ask, I have all the nail products that I use directly linked in my ShopMy in my bio. First, I'm gonna start by removing the gel off of my nails that I still have on. I use this diamond carbide bit, I think. It's linked in my storefront. Do not put this on your raw nail. It is very hardcore. It's to get all this gel off. I just go over everything that already has gel on it and take these layers off. And I'll show you what I do for the other nails. Okay, now I have my little pointy bit on and I'm gonna go in and do a little bit of cuticle work. I'm gonna go around the edges and push them down. You wanna be careful when doing this. You don't wanna like dig into your nail. You wanna be like parallel as you can with it because you'll get like what's called a ring of fire where essentially you like file that part of your nail down too much and it's painful. I also have this Sally Hansen cuticle remover that I really like when my cuticles are pretty bad. Okay, then I just take my little cuticle nippers and any dead skin, just clean that up. For the nails that I'm doing the fill on, I go around the bottom and I like clip up any lifting. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're just gonna fill this in with builder gel. I'm gonna take my like buffing sanding band and just like buff over everything, even my regular nails. I'm gonna size my extensions that I'm putting on. I get the pre-etched nails. See how it's like textured on the inside? If your nails aren't pre-etched, you do need to go in and etch them either with some acetone or with your sanding band. So when sizing your nails, you wanna make sure that it fits sidewall to sidewall. You don't want there to be any overlap because if there's a lot of overlap, it's going to lift. You also don't want it to be too small. I don't know if it's focusing or not because when it's too small, it will also pop off. So you have to find one that fits perfectly sidewall to sidewall. Okay, I have my extensions picked out for my sizes. Now I'm gonna start prepping. I'm gonna show you that process. If you're doing Gel X extensions, you're gonna want one of these little flash cure lamps. These do not fully cure your nails. This is just a flash cure. So as I'm like, I'll show you, as I'm holding my nail on with the glue, I put it under there and it flash cures it just enough for the nail to like stay on. And then I do a full cure in the lamp. But if you're gonna do Gel X extensions, this is a necessity. By cleaning my nails, this is just regular alcohol. And I use this brush and get them clean. And alcohol is also a dehydrator. So this is like my first level of like dehydrating. Make sure to get my cuticles really good too because my cuticles produce a lot of oil and that will also cause lifting. Then I go in with a nail dehydrator. Honestly, after using the alcohol, I don't know that this is necessary, but I just do it. You can also use alcohol as a dehydrator, but I go in and dehydrate my nails again with this. Use this Young Nails Protein Bond. This is a game changer. It is worth purchasing. It's like a primer. It puts a sticky layer on your nails and it works. Nail tech told me to do 2 layers, so I'm gonna do 2 layers, but you don't wanna put too much on and you also don't wanna flood your cuticle with it. That will cause lifting. Okay, now that my primer is dry, I'm gonna go in with 1 layer of my Apres Extend Gel and I'm gonna cure that for 60 seconds before I start putting all of the glue on the nails. So I just do 1 thin layer. We're gonna cure for 60 seconds. So the tricky part is figuring out how much glue to use for each nail because you don't want to have, if you have too little, then you have to like redo it because if you have air bubbles, that's going to cause the nail to pop off. But if you have too much, then you're going to have spill over like on your cuticle. So you got to be careful with that. So I'm going to go in with another thin layer of glue on my nail. I'm not going to cure that yet. Okay, then I'm going to take my extension and I'm going to paint the back of my extension where my nail is going to be. Take like a little glob of glue. Once I paint the back, I'm gonna angle my brush like this and like wipe a glob of glue right there on the bottom. I've been doing this a lot and I'm still not a pro at it. And then I like to like squeeze the nail a little bit to kind of level out the glue. If it's not good when you put it on, take it off, re-glue it. You can redo it, but what you don't want to do is cure this nail on your nail and then have to like rip it off or I mean soak it off really is what you're supposed to do. So then I'm gonna go in at an angle like this and then gradually push the nail on and you're gonna see the glue come up. I'm gonna try to do a close-up for you. This is why the flash cure lamp is so important because you're gonna have to hold your nail in place on there while it's curing until the glue gets just hardened enough to like stick. I always try to move the nail up a little bit off of my cuticle. You wanna have room to be able to like blend the nail in. You don't want it to be sitting right on your cuticle. Angle, push it down. I'm gonna cure it. There we go. Now I'm gonna cure everything. Really only 60 seconds, but I like to like double it up. Just to be safe, I'll probably do like 90 or 120. I like to do kind of like an almond oval shape. So I don't have to file for like the rest of my life. to get this shape, I take these clippers and I just clip the corners. I got conned into going to dinner with my ratchet unfinished nails. Okay, I'm back. I went to dinner with ratchet nails, but I gotta pick back up where we started so I can go to bed at a decent time. And by that I mean like probably 1 a.m. But you wanna make sure the extensions that you have on are like blended into your nail. And these extensions are made from gel, and acetone melts gel. So I take some acetone on a brush and I just go around the edges of my extension and like really try to like melt that into the nail so it like blends better. You don't want to do the full nail because you don't want to break down the strength of your nail, but just like the edges, right where the extension meets your nail. Okay, once that's done, I want to go through and buff everything around the edge of the extension in my nail also, just to also help that like blend a little bit better. Now we're gonna nail prep again. I'm gonna clean with alcohol just from me buffing. And then I'm gonna go back in with my primer, especially since I ate earlier. Go back in with 2 coats of my primer, let that dry, and then I'm gonna do a coat of the D&D base gel and cure that. Then I'll be ready for my builder gel. I'm gonna use my Cocoas Clear Builder Gel. I'm gonna use this to like fill in these gaps right here from where the ones that I'm doing the fill at. And then where my extensions are, they're up a little bit from my cuticle. So I'm gonna like build that up to really like even out the surface. There's a lot of videos on TikTok that can show you that are like good builder gel application tutorials. If you wanna get a good builder gel, there's a lot of cheap ones on Amazon. I tried them and they do not self-level well. And then you end up with like really lumpy nails. Like 1 regular layer, and then I get like quite a bit on my brush and I do like a dollop of Daisy. Like work that gel back and forth across my nail and I kind of push it down into this gap by my cuticle to like fill this area in. You have to be careful not to get on your cuticle. And then one trick that I learned to help the builder gel self-level is to like hold your hand upside down. Before I cure, I'm gonna take my little acetone brush and I'm gonna go around my cuticles because I know there was a couple little spots where the gel went onto my cuticles and I don't want to cure the gel on my cuticles. I'm gonna here for 120 seconds because I like to be extra safe. Now my builder gel is cured. I'm gonna go in with my base. This is How Do You Neutral by D&D. I'm gonna do 2 coats of this. Okay, time for my French tip. I got this stamp. It's like a beetle stamp. I got it off Amazon for like a few bucks. And what you do is you put your polish on the stamp and then I'm gonna like stamp my nail into it and it's going to give me almost a perfect French tip. Good amount on here. Literally just push my nail into there and like work it around the edge. Look at that. Stick my finger. It looks so good. I'm gonna go in with just my top gel real quick and cure that. All right, bitch, last and final step. You wanna get the tacky layer off of your nails from your top coat. So I just take a lint-free wipe with alcohol and rub it on there and that rubs that tacky layer off. Okay, I'm done. They are so freaking cute. It is 1 a.m. though and I'm tired. Good night, I love you.